Welcome to Daily Devotion with Ken Gurley. Devotions designed to inspire you on your daily walk with God. Here's your host, Ken Gurley.
Hey, good Tuesday morning to each and every one of you. Thank you for being a part of this daily devotion family. And I probably sprung something on you yesterday, family. I sprung it on you. And I probably should have done this one first, but alas, I didn't. I shared yesterday what I felt like sharing. And at the end, I mentioned something about what we're doing with local churches. I'm going to give you the lowdown today about bringing life back to a church. This is sort of my passion. This is what I've been doing for the last few years. And all of my writing, my free time, my studying, my investment in others has been going into this. And I'm happy about it. We're seeing some great changes. So I want to share it with you. Welcome to Daily Devotion family. We're here Monday through Friday. I almost said 9 to 5, 8 to 5. No, we're not. We're here Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Central. Thank you for being a part of it and sharing this with others. Just get the word out, bringing life back to a church. I just believe the greatest gift God gives a town, a village, a city, is a local church. And I think the greatest effort that we can expend ourselves in is to grow a healthy church. And so a few years ago, a bunch of us like-minded folks formed an organization called Healthy Churches. You can find it at healthychurches.org. You may see that this daily devotion operates under a nonprofit called Second Chance Network. You will see Healthy Churches does as well. It's part of our effort to reach out to other people. It was a number of years ago that our General Superintendent, David Bernard, began a thing called SGI, and I was a part of the origination of that. And that was to strengthen our churches, to grow them, and to increase our ministers and the number of works. That was our initiative. And Brother Darrell Johns heads that now. Brother Brian Parkey assists. Brother Nathan Scoggins, secretary. I'm on that team. And my focus is on making stronger churches. I want to see churches grow strong. We need churches in the last day. I grieve when I hear of one church weakening, one church falling by the wayside. I want to see churches grow and flourish and just become everything that they can be. Many of our churches are strong and they're growing and they're blessing others. And if you're a part of one of those churches, thank God. Many of our churches are reaching their communities and they are a light in the community. Thank God. But some are not. But regardless of the condition of the church, we believe it can be strengthened. It can be brought back to health. There's no soul God cannot reach, and there's no church He cannot revive. It is His church after all. We are laborers together with Him. And if you'd let me today, I want to talk about bringing life back to a church. It's sort of an Ezekiel with the valley of dry bones moment. Can these bones live? Yes, the bones can live. It takes so many people working together, being led of the Spirit to bring a church back to life. So let me introduce this whole initiative to you with the title of a book by Simon Sinek. Start with the why. Why? Why are we doing healthy churches? Because the need is great. I know there are no straight line comparisons, but when you look out in Christendom in North America, mainline churches began declining many years ago. Evangelical churches then started falling more recently. What's the reason that a church begins to dwindle and decline? There are many reasons, not one. If I had to pick one, it would be an inward focus, where a movement becomes a monument, where we get into this place of misplaced priorities, complacency, fatigue, division, carnality. You get the picture. We've all lived it. We've all seen it. There's got to be some degree of commonality with all of these other churches, even though they do not have the truth as we know it. We're watching churches suffer. Tom Rainer did a survey of nearly 1,200 churches in the United States a few years back. Only 6% were growing. 94% were declined or plateaued. One Midwest district of an evangelical organization, 97% of their churches were declining. This is staggering. In 2019, this was the year before the pandemic, approximately 3,000 churches were started in the U.S. 4,500 churches closed. This is what you're seeing. One estimate recently said that before this decade is over, there could be as many as 100,000 churches close in America. That just doesn't even sound right, does it? This is the headlines. More churches closed than opened in 2019. Then came the pandemic. And if you think churches are doing better after the pandemic, well, it's been a struggle. A struggle. I think this is why the need is so great. Another report, the City Managers Association, they're having meetings to discuss how do they transform 100,000 church closers into other buildings for the community. There's a book that just came out this year called Gone for Good, where again that 100,000 figure is being quoted, and what can be done with closing churches. Well, I don't want to get to that place. I don't want to get to the place where we have to decide what to do with the closing church. I want to see churches have life come back into them. I want to see the glory of God come back into that church. I want to see the power come back. I want to see it happen. But I will warn you, getting life back in a church that has declined for a number of years is a very difficult business. If I was to look at the 5,000 congregations of our movement in the United States and Canada, what would I see? We see some growing churches. We see some holding their own. One group would say that 80% of churches are either holding still or declining rapidly. Why do we need to do this? Because the need is so great. It's not hangnail. It's not a fingernail. It's level 4 trauma, and we need this. The need is urgent. The need is urgent. So yesterday when I mentioned to you that anything you give through this site, through the Ken Gurley Second Chance Network site, from now through the end of the year is going to give scholarships for church revitalizations. I mean this because the need is urgent. It's more urgent than we can imagine. How many churches are on they just need some help. And that's what we're trying to do. The one word answer to what do we do about it is revitalization. Not simply having a revival, not just having a series of services, not having a crusade. No, more services are not the answer. We need the help of heaven. We need insights into what prompts church health. In the past number of years, this has been a passion of mine and several other fellow ministers. Our team has worked with over 1,000 churches in addressing key areas that can bring back health and growth. And through the input and feedback we've received from those congregations, we're constantly tweaking. Through a lot of prayer, a lot of research, a lot of experimentation, several certifications, some degrees along the way. I just want to share with you what I believe can bring life back to a local church. Revitalization. It's the process of a church just getting healthy. There's no silver bullets. You remember that silver bullets? What did a silver bullet do? Was it supposed to kill a werewolf or something? I don't know. Somebody help me out in the chat comments. I don't remember. There's no silver bullets to this thing. No one size fits all. But through the Book of Acts model, you can see the elements of what a healthy church looks like. I mean, that was the church that turned the world upside down. That was the church that even pagans looked at them and said, what love they have one toward another. That was the church that the Lord added to daily, such as should be saved, and even multiplied them. So revitalization is the word we're using to focus on church health. It's not unique. It has been around now for 30 years. People started working with this 30 years ago. What can we do to bring the ingredients back into a church that will restore the health of a church? God can save anyone, and God can heal any church. You may be listening right now, and your church may be suffering. I pray for you, because we need that church. We need that church strong. We need Aaron and hers lifting up their pastor's hand. We need people in that church with an outward focus. How many churches need revitalization? The numbers are probably anywhere from 80 to 90% of churches. 40% of them are aging, and everybody needs a place to go to church. And we shouldn't say that in a derogatory sense, that a church is aging. Yet here's what we know. There's a thing called the triple elder effect, that the older the pastor gets, the older the congregation has existed, and the older the members get, the harder it is to revitalize that church. Aging churches, that's about 40% of them that need revitalization. Great omission churches, that's 25%. Churches that have forgotten about their community. If the church was removed from the community, nobody would even know it, because they're no longer in touch with their community. Ex-neighborhood churches, 15%. That's where they reach the neighborhood, but that neighborhood's gone. War-torn churches, churches fighting with one another, 12%. Mismatched leadership churches, 8%. I could nearly say all of us need revitalization. Just as surely as every saint of God needs revival in our own hearts, every church needs to be brought back to life in a greater way. Strong churches can be made stronger. Growing churches can be made more effective. The why, the need is great. The what, revitalization, and the how. I'm explaining today what we are doing. How will we address this? Been a lot of discussions about it, a lot of examination, a lot of reading, a lot of studying, a lot of looking at programs, a lot of prayer. But Healthy Churches, and you can see that at healthychurches.org, we're presenting an overview of a program that will bring churches back to life. How does it happen? We have coaches that are trained that work with the church leadership, form basically a change coalition. That this change coalition in the church is destined to bring about the needed change. Oh, not change in doctrine, change in lifestyle. No. Change in how we view the lost and how we view our role in the community. We have a group of coaches that work individually with churches over a period of 18 months to do this. Let me tell you a little bit about our focus. It's prayer focused. Every step's preceded by intentional prayer. He's the Lord of the harvest. He's the one that brings the harvest. It is a pastor-led effort. Pastors. We come alongside pastors who then began to coach people in their church to watch change happen. This is an organization endeavor. It's endorsed by the UPCI. It's individual based. Each church is unique, helping the church leaders address the needs of that church. It's confidential. It's cohort equipped. Other pastors get with other pastors and talk about their process and what they're going through and encourage one another. It's sustained, it's comprehensive, it's team-based. We have everything that we need that pulls together what the church needs to know to get started. We do a Know the Church report. That is an amazing report. Ends up ranking the church in 7 areas of church health. We do a Know Your Community report, the demographics, the psychographics of the community, anything to push the attention out to the lost. Lift up your eyes. The field is white unto harvest. We can say, based on our experience, we've just cycled through 18 months of coaching many churches, and we can say that it works. Churches are invigorated. Churches have more volunteers. Churches have more team members. Churches have more conversions. Churches are seeing the lost saved and lives changed. We've had a lot of help. We've had a lot of encouragement in this, and it's really been heartwarming to see. God himself, the Lord of the harvest, I believe is committed to each church to get strong and vibrant. Whatever the problems were in the 7 churches of Asia, each of them was given a chance to repent and start over, to bring life back to churches. We're seeing it happen, and God's doing an amazing work. And we are trying to fill up our coaches' schedules come the first of the year. Nobody makes any money off of this. By the time we spend the assessments and the monies it takes to do all the assessments and get everything in order and cover some of the phone expense and travel expense of our coaches, we're out of money on it. But it's such a rewarding work because we're seeing churches come back to life. As a local pastor who loves helping pastors, I want them to know they're not alone. They're not alone. Everyone struggles. Everyone goes through trials. Everyone feels many times like a failure, like you didn't do what you should do. But you know what? A church was destined to have deep roots and to grow wings and fly. We can do this. The benefits of what we're doing, it fulfills the elements of the SGI initiative. We're seeing stronger and growing churches. It communicates to everyone, nobody's alone, and we all care in this. It's leaders helping leaders, and local churches are growing stronger and getting stronger, healthier churches. That makes the light shine brighter in these dark last days. I'm so optimistic about the church. The gates of hell are not going to prevail against the church. But my optimism does not negate realism. We realize this has been a difficult year. It's been a difficult year and season for many. I know our leaders have resilience. I know our churches have grit. We know that. But I want them to know they're not alone. There's some people that can help, and maybe we can stand in the gap and step forward. The local church, hear me carefully, the local church is the hope of the world. Whew. Your church should shine as bright as humanly possible. And I'm just asking you, I felt impressed. I just felt impressed when I had some churches reach out and they want to go through this program. $1,500 is a lot of money to them. That's what it cost us. That's not that is the bottom dollar figure of what it cost us, and actually it probably cost us more. But $1,500 would give a scholarship for a local church to go through this 18-month program and to see a turnaround that would bring glory back to that local church and bring glory to our God who died and shed precious blood to purchase the church of the living God. So here's what I'm doing. This is the commitment I made. You're going to hear me mention this now through the end of the year. Anything you give. So when you go to kengurley.com and it says, would you like to give to this ministry, Second Chance Network? Anything given from now through the end of the year is going to go toward those $1,500 scholarships for our churches that are struggling. How many of them are there? There's far more than what we know about. Nobody wants to admit they're struggling. But the ones we know about, the number is immense. If we could do 30 scholarships, 40 scholarships, 50, 100, we would make a difference, a great difference. Thank you for your generosity. I'll never ask for a penny from me. Never, never, never. But I will for a church that is struggling. Do what you can. If it's $5, thank you. If you normally give every month, with your permission, from now to the end of the year, we're going to use those for scholarships. Go to kengurley.com, check it out, and let's just make a difference. Thank you. Thank you for this. We are on KYCC in just a few moments. You can download the app. Facebook, like, follow, share. YouTube, subscribe. And remember, Facebookers, get a backup over on YouTube. And I know the Lord will bless. Getting ready to head to my first post-op surgery visit as soon as I sign off here, and physical therapy begins tomorrow. So say a prayer. Say a prayer for me. I would greatly appreciate it. KenGurley.com. If you would like to help, just give. Anything given. Choose the category. Anything given. We are plowing it in to scholarships for churches to be revitalized, to bring life back to a local church. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for your goodness. God bless. God bless. And may the Lord be with you. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. God bless.
Thank you for sharing in Daily Devotion with Ken Gurley. We pray this ministry has been a source of encouragement and strength to you. Please be mindful that your financial support enables us to meet with you each day. To give a donation or connect with us, visit our website at kengurley.com. There you will also find the latest books, podcasts, and resources. Blessed 90 Days to Change Your World is Pastor Gurley's latest book. You can get your copy of this life-changing book at kengurley.com. May God's favor rest on you in every way until we meet again.